Hi, welcome back to another one of my baking videos. Today we are doing something very quick and simple. Like my banana bread, which is very much a case of throw it in the bowl and just cook it. This is equally as easy, and today we are making an apple and cinnamon cake. Yum, this is so easy. I challenge anybody to go wrong with this cake. So what we are going to do is we're going to start off with our ingredients. I have measured out 285 grams of self-raising flour. We have some ground cinnamon. We have 230 grams of sugar. We have 60 grams of raisins, 2 eggs. We have 170 milliliters of milk, and I forgot to mention we also have 115 grams of butter at room temperature. And of course it can't be an apple and cinnamon cake without 225 grams of dessert apples. I've used, what have I used? I have used jazz apples, and they have been peeled and cored and chopped into little squares. Now then, I'm going to show you just how easy this cake is. I have pre-lined a loaf tin, and the electric oven is set to 180 degrees centigrade. So if you're cooking with gas, lucky you, and you want gas mark 4. Right, as I said, this is a really simple cake, and we are literally going to throw most things in. So we're going to start off with our self-raising flour. Pop that into the bowl. Would help if I got a spoon. And what we're going to do is, now I've been making this cake for a number of years now. I don't recall where I got the recipe originally. The recipe calls for 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. If you're anything like me and you love cinnamon, then just go the whole hog and put in a whole tablespoon. I love it. So it really depends on how cinnamony you like your cake. As you can tell, I do. So yeah, 1.5 teaspoons is what the recipe calls for. However, if you're anything like me, just chuck a load more in, and I've put in practically a tablespoon of cinnamon. Just mix the flour and the cinnamon in together. We are now going to add our butter to the mix. So that was 115 grams of butter. And as my butter came out of the fridge, I've just blasted that in the microwave for about 30 seconds to soften it. I'm going to also crack 2 eggs straight into the bowl. 1 and 2. We're going to put our sugar straight in as well. Now what I have done, now you can use most sugars in this particular recipe. You can use granulated sugar, you can use caster sugar. Because I like the fudgy taste that soft brown sugar gives, so I've actually used 50 grams of soft brown sugar and 65 grams of white caster sugar. Like I say, I'd stay away from dark brown sugar because that has a stronger taste from it, but most sugars, whether it be white caster sugar, soft brown sugar, or granulated sugar, that's all fine. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to use my spatula to mix all that in together. We will be using a mixer in a moment just to smooth the mixture out. But if I put the mixer in it now, it's just going to fly everywhere, that flour. So just mix that in a little bit. I'm also going to pour in my 170 milliliters of milk. I use semi-skimmed milk. If you want to add a few more calories, you can use full fat milk. And again, I'm just going to stir that in. To make the mixture nice and moist before we just blitz it with the whisk. Now with a lot of cakes like Victoria sponge or anything like that, it is quite important to add air to the mixture and mix the butter and the sugar first till it's light and fluffy before you add the eggs, etc, etc. Like I said, this cake, you can literally just throw it all in. Okay, so I've mixed that round a bit to make the moisture moist so that the flour doesn't fly anywhere. I'm now going to whisk it for a couple of minutes just to literally blend everything together. There we are, not even a couple of minutes. So our mixture is nicely blended together as it slides down the mixing bowl. And to literally finish off, because we are practically done, I'm just going to break the sultanas apart so that they don't all clump together, because they tend to be a bit sticky sometimes, don't they? So I've done that. I'm going to pour those into the mix, straight in. One's gone on the floor. And I'm going to take our apples. So that was 225 grams of dessert type apples. Shouldn't use Granny Smiths or anything like that, but jazz apples, pink lady apples, anything nice and sweet. Just peel those, core them, chop them up into little squares, little cubes is fine. So we're just going to pop that into our mix as well. And using a spatula, we're just going to mix all that together. There, and we are done. How quick and easy is that? Pre-lined loaf tin, and we are just going to pop that in there now. The apple in this makes the cake really moist. I mean, the mixture you'll see isn't a particularly thick mixture anyway, but the apple makes it extra moist, which is lovely. Okay, we're just going to spread that out a bit. Now, if you watched my last video, there we go. So that's just spread out in the loaf tin. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I'm an absolute sucker for cake batter. And the cinnamon in that is divine. Really nice. Now the cake itself takes no time to throw together and mix together. It takes a little bit longer to cook. So we've put that on 180 degrees, my electric oven. If you're doing it in a fan oven, you can do that for 160 degrees Celsius. And if you are using a gas oven, you want that on gas mark 4. And we're going to cook that between an hour and an hour and a quarter. So after about an hour, just insert a clean knife into this mix, into the cake. If it comes out clean, you know it's ready. If it's not quite ready at that point, I would just keep putting it on for about every 5 minutes until that is fully done. So we're going to pop that in the oven now. Okay, so as you can hear, our oven is beeping. My oven is beeping. Let's check on the cake. Well, it looks nicely brown, so let's just try that out. And yes, the knife comes out nice and clean. So there. So I'm going to leave that now to cool down for a couple of minutes before I turn that out onto a plate, and then we can have a look at our lovely apple and cinnamon cake. This cake is equally as nice warm as it is cold, and it will stay fresh in a airtight container for 4 to 5 days easily. If it lasts that long, it certainly won't last that long here. So here is our finished apple and cinnamon cake. It's extremely moist, it's absolutely delicious, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will be making more videos, so if you've got any suggestions on what you would like me to make, then please get in touch and let me know. Enjoy your cake, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!